sir.
Excellent. It's on a phone. That's pretty remarkable. Well, that's a little peek into Game Center. So those are just two of the many things in iOS 4.1, and it's going to be available next week. It's for iPhone and iPod Touch, and it's going to be a free download via iTunes. So look for it, iOS 4.1 next week. Now, I've got a little surprise for you today. It's a sneak peek at the next iOS release, 4.2. 4.2 is going to come a little later this year, and it's all about iPad. It's bringing everything to iPad, iOS 4.1, with its multitasking, its folders, Game Center, HDR photos, everything you saw here, all of it to iPad. Wireless printing. We're adding wireless printing to iOS. And we're adding something really cool called AirPlay, which we'll talk about a little later today. So let me give you a little feel for printing. So let's say we're in Pages on the iPad and we want to print. And we push the Tools button here with our finger, and we get up our tools and we see there's print now. And we push print, and we get to select our printer. We get the number of pages, very, very simple, and we can just say print. Now, again, select a printer for the front office. So we're going ahead and we're printing. Whenever we're printing, down below, if we bring up the multitasking bar, we see that it's put Print Center right in the front and shown us how many jobs are printing, in this case 1, and we can go examine it. We can even cancel it if we want to. So that gives you a feel for how simple printing is going to be in iOS, and it's very powerful. Now, what is AirPlay? Well, you know what AirTunes is. It's streaming music over Wi-Fi to an Airport Express base station so you can listen to music all over your house from your mobile device. Well, we're changing the name of AirTunes to AirPlay because it's not just going to be music anymore. You're going to be able to stream audio, but also video and photos over Wi-Fi to other devices. And we'll get into that a little bit later. So let me just give you a brief demo of iOS 4.2 running on an iPad. I've got my iPad here. And let me go ahead and just go ahead and swipe over here and let me launch Pandora. And I've got some Jack Johnson music here. Let's go ahead and play that. And let me bring up the multitasking bar. There it is. And let's go to Mail. So we're multitasking here, listening to Pandora in the background. And there's Mail. We've got multi-threaded Mail here. So again, 2 messages from Gary Dunn. And here's one talking about a Gibson West Montgomery guitar. So let's go take a look at that. Now we've multitasked over to the browser, and here we are in the web. Right? Again, we can just go over here and stop and start our music. Very, very simple. So let me show you folders now. Let's go ahead and make a folder with our news apps. So I can just get into jiggle mode here, and I'll just put NPR on top of Wall Street Journal, and it's made a folder called News right here, which I could rename if I want to. And I'll go ahead and put the Financial Times in there and put Editor's Choice in there. And I can even put this down on my dock if I want to. And now I've got a news folder right there with my news apps in it, right on my iPad. So all of us that use iPhones know and love all these features, and we love them, and we can't wait to get them on our iPad. So when is 4.2 coming out? It's coming out in November. And it's going to be a free update for iPad, iPhone, and iPod Touch, with all those new features in it. And so we couldn't be happier about the progress of iOS. 120 million devices, over 230,000 activations of new iOS devices per day. and 2 new releases of iOS, one coming out next week, the other coming out in November. And we're really, really happy with iOS. So that's the iOS update. Now I'd like to get on to the entree today, iPods. This is our music event where we unveil the cool music products we've got lined up for the holidays, and today is no exception. So let me talk about iPods for a minute. How many iPods have we sold? 275 million iPods. Now, one of the secrets to the iPod's success is that even though the iPod has a very high market share, we've never rested on our laurels. Every year, we try to improve iPods, make them even better for our users. And this year, we've gone wild. Because we have all new iPods, all new design for every single model of iPod. It's really exciting. It's the biggest change in the iPod lineup ever. So, let's start off with the iPod Shuffle. This was our first generation shuffle. It's based on the concept that shuffling is a wonderful way to listen to your music. And we could make a really affordable player without a display that just shuffled your songs and was super easy to use, and it's been a really big hit. The second generation was even better. It was dramatically smaller, it had a clip, it had these ring buttons on it that was really easy to use. The third generation, we took off the buttons, added voiceover so you could listen to your songs, and added playlists. Now it could talk you through your playlist and you could pick a playlist. But people clearly missed the buttons, right? So they loved the buttons of the second generation, but they loved voiceover and having playlists on their iPod from the third. So what are we going to do? Let's make the best of both. The new iPod Shuffle. It's even smaller than the second generation. It's got buttons, voiceover, and playlists. And it's really small. So, of course, it's got the clip, so it's instantly wearable. And it's really nice. Just clip it on and go. And it's got some great features. Again, it's small and wearable. It's easy to use with the buttons. You never have to look down at the product to change its volume or go to the next or previous song. It's got playlists. So you can ask it to speak the playlists. It'll speak through just like the third generation iPod Shuffle, and you can pick a playlist that you want, so you can have multiple playlists on your iPod Shuffle. Genius mixes we're adding. It's been a very popular feature on the other iPods. And, of course, voiceover. So it'll tell you the song or artist you're listening to, playlists, Genius mixes. It even tells you when the battery needs charging. And 15 hours of music. 15 hours. This little tiny thing. This is what the packaging looks like. It's really cute. And it comes in 5 different colors. And it sells for just $49. So, that is the new iPod Shuffle. We're just getting started. So now, let's look at the iPod Nano. This is the first generation Nano. It was a breakthrough, the first high-capacity flash-based music player. And it was a stunner when it first came out. The next generation, we took it to extruded aluminum. It's even better. The third generation, the fourth generation had an even taller screen on it. And the most recent generation, an even taller screen. Now, how do we make this better? The iPod Nano has been super popular. What can we do? Well, we'd like to make it smaller, and we'd like to make it better. Well, to make it smaller, there's only one way to do that, and that's to eliminate the click wheel. And there's only one way to eliminate the click wheel, which is to make it touch-based. And there's only one good way to make it touch-based, and that's multi-touch. And so that's what we've done. The new iPod Nano has multi-touch. And it's really small. It's very tiny, so you can hold it in just in your hand like this. It's amazing, and super easy to use, and it's so small, we're able to put a clip on it too. So it's instantly wearable. So, multi-touch user interface. It's 46% smaller and 42% lighter. In other words, it's almost half as small and almost half as light as its predecessor. That doesn't happen too often. It's got a clip, so no more armbands when you want to use it for athletics. It's got volume buttons, hard volume buttons, voiceover, FM radio, Nike Plus, pedometer, all sorts of stuff like that. And it works in 29 different languages. So we're really excited about this. It's got 24-hour audio playback, 24-hour battery life. And so take a look at some of the screens. So you've got a lot of different screens. You've got the home screen. As you flip through, you've got radio and photos and podcasts and settings, and then all different ways to access your music, songs, albums, composers, genres. You've got Nike Plus, you've got voice memos, and this is what it's like when you scroll through it. You can get these nice big letters to find out, where you are. That's what albums look like. It's great to see the album art. Here's some more. The first two are radio up there, the built-in FM radio. Got a clock. We've got one of our board of director members is going to clip it onto an armband as a watch. Photos, and again, the home screen. So this is what it looks like. Let me show you how it works. So I've got one right here, and this is an iPod Nano. All righty. And so let me just flick some of the screens here. Well, first of all, I can go right into music. I can just hit artist and go just right through like this. And let me go to, E. And I want to find Ella Fitzgerald, and I could just play a song. And again, here's the controls. I go to the next song, previous song. There's Genius and Shuffle, Repeat. Real easy. And again, I can swipe right and go through, or I can just hold down any place, whoops, not there, and get right back to the home screen. So it's very, very easy to navigate around. Let me show you some of the other screens here. So we've got, again, radio, podcasts, and photos, all the different ways of listening to music, and all the other stuff I've got here. So let me say I want to, I listen to albums a lot, and I want that on the home page. I can just push down and jiggle it and move it, just like I can with my other iOS devices. So now I have albums on the front page. And again, I can just scroll through here. Real easy. And, go anywhere and play a song. Real easy to do. Thank you. Okay, let's see. The last thing I want to show you was, if we go home again, let's go to the home screen. Let's say I clip this on and I clip it on upside down. Well, I just take my two fingers and rotate it. Woo! And change the screen like that. So, maybe the last thing I'd like to do is just show you some photos on this. And let's go to, yeah, I know, I am upside down. Well, I live a lot of my life upside down. But anyway, you can just see what photos look like on it. They're really nice as well. Just flick between them here.
To see part 3 of this Apple Music event, click here.